Hey everybody, welcome back to our Kratom Addiction and Recovery Daily Devotional series. So we're in Job right now and we are going into lots of different stuff this week as Job is talking with his friends who have shown up after he's lost everything and he's going through these challenges and these struggles. And we've been taking out key moments from this dialogue between Job and his friends as they kind of go back and forth about, why Job ended up in this place, and his friends are kind of accusing him of doing something wrong, and Job is defending himself. And so the verses that we've pulled the past couple days and that we're going to do throughout the week are key moments as Job is having this discussion with his friends. And we're then looking at what is said and applying it to our own situations and our kratom addiction and recovery process. So cool. We are going to pick up in chapter 14, and we are going to do verses 7 through 14. At least there is hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again. And if its new shoots will not fail. Its roots may grow old in the ground and its stump die in the soil, yet at the scent of water it will bud and put forth shoots like a plant. But a man dies and is laid low. He breathes his last and is no more. As the water of a lake dries up or a riverbed becomes parched and dry, so he lies down and does not rise. Till the heavens are no more, people will not awake or be roused from their sleep. If only you would come hide me in the grave and conceal me till your anger has passed. If only you would set me a time and then remember me. If someone dies, will they live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait for my renewal to come. We've talked about it, and the poetic nature of this book, it just really gets me. I absolutely love the different lyrical imagery, if you will, of this book. And today it's talking about, this imagery of a tree and how, at least there's hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again and its new shoots will not fail. Its roots may grow old in the ground and its stump die in the soil, yet at the scent of water it will bud and put forth shoots like a plant. And so it's like relating, as it talks about this, it's relating, the nature of the tree to when it talks about, but a man dies and is laid low, and his breath, he breathes his last and is no more. As the water of a lake dries up or a riverbed becomes parched and dry, so he lies down and does not rise. Till the heavens are no more, people will not awake or be roused from their sleep. So it's relating, the renewing process of the tree to the very impermanent nature of life, basically. And then it goes on and says, if only you would hide me in the grave and conceal me till your anger has passed. If only you would set me a time and then remember me. If someone dies, will they live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait for my renewal to come. And that's Job, questioning God and his pain and asking him that, if only you would hide me in the grave until this is past. Like he's expressing his pain and his suffering to God. And the reason why we chose this today, though, is that, it does end on this positive note that, if someone dies, will they live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait for my renewal to come. So Job is asking these challenging questions of the tree will come back when it's cut down at the scent of water. That's so beautiful. But when we die, we will not wake again. And so, he's looking at this impermanent nature of our lives And then he's going to God in his pain and saying, like, you know, hide me in the grave until this has passed. Like, he doesn't even want to live through this anymore. But it ends on that note of like, I will wait for my renewal to come. And the point of today is that, you know, throughout all of the hard things that Job is going through, that he still has that hope and he still has that faith. Yes, it is being challenged and tested, but he still has that faith, as he says, and it's illustrated in this verse, that he will wait for his renewal to come. And so how does this apply to us? You know, we can look at our situation and our addiction and recovery and see that, like, you know, the pain and the challenge and the tests that we're going through in this process. When we look at Job's situation, you know, there are some similarities to the pain that he's going through and the suffering that he's going through. And, you know, we can look at these verses and then, you know, see at the ends the hope of like waiting for our renewal. And that's one of the biggest points of the whole book of Job too, is that, like, you know, this is about his faith, Job's faith being tested, and like how we can apply it to our situation is that, like, the test that we're going through in our addiction and recovery, it's a test of our faith. Or for some of us, we're not even cool with God. And so like, it's like the birthing and the beginning of our faith. And so, you know, I've talked about my situation before. A lot of you guys know it. Some of you are just joining us now. And, you know, I went through a horrible experience in my addiction and in my recovery process. And the person that sits before you now that makes these videos to go up every day is a person that's been renewed. And it did not happen overnight, you guys. Like, I had to, as this verse says at the end, I had to wait for my renewal to come. But just as with Job, I held on to that hope and that faith that I was being renewed and that my renewal was coming. And it was very challenging through different parts of my recovery process and different parts of my addiction. But holding on to, you know, after, you know, when I was in the deepest parts of my addiction, this wasn't even on my radar yet. You know, I had to get to the point where I was ready to start quitting. And, you know, and maybe it wasn't the actual quitting process. Maybe when I was in the darkest parts, I held on to the hope that I would quit one day. I didn't know when that was going to be. And so, you know, complete renewal wasn't even on my radar yet. But that, you know, like hope and to relate it to those of you that are still in the depths of your addiction, because I was there for a long time. I spent a full year not ready to quit before I started my tapering process. And so, you know, I held on to that hope that my renewal was going to come when I started to quit. And then after I quit, it was so far in the distant future at that point, and I couldn't even conceive it, but I did hold on to that. So that's the point of today. And I want to encourage you, wherever you're at in your process, to find that hope, no matter how small it is, for your renewal that is to come. And it is to come. I promise you that. It may take a while. It may take hard work and sacrifice and pain and struggle, but your renewal is to come. So that's the message for today, you guys. And I know that as we are getting into different aspects of Job, that there are some things that they're not easy to look at, but this is one of the most beautiful aspects of recovery and of faith in itself, is the renewal process that goes on. And, you know, that's the beauty of the gospel too, is that, you know, Christ, He came, he died, he rose again. And in that is renewal. And that for those of us who believe in him, we have that opportunity to have that renewal again, to be raised from the dead, just like Jesus was. And our souls die in our addiction. And I personally experienced it, and it's why I follow Jesus to this day, is because I experienced my soul being raised from the dead by my belief in Christ and by following him and changing my life and turning away from the things that I was doing. So I saw a complete renewal in my life, and I'm living proof that it's possible. So I encourage you guys to let us know how you're doing in the comments section below. And I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.